What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Toshi today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at about 303706 on the price action here. Looking like we want to go a little bit lower, perhaps. Do we go lower than this low? That's a good question. I don't know, man. We'll figure that out. Let's see. Let's look at this price here. That was not the right price. Oh. I mean, it's possible. It's possible we could go below this low. As of now, I'm going to guess no. I don't think that we do, or if we do, it would be very insignificant amounts and very short-lived amounts of time that we are below this low if it happens. If we take this low, back in January of this year here. Come on now, if I can get it. There we go, right at the low there. Put it at the high. You can see that we found support right in the golden ratio. It's literally a story made in heaven, man. You got right down to the golden ratio, bounced out of the zone, rejecting the 0.5. Oof. Honestly, most of the time, whenever you do this kind of stuff, you build down, you find support at the 382, 236. You do just head your way right down to the golden ratio. And then if you find resistance at the 0.5 especially, you tend to go actually to the 786, 886 zone, in all fairness. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, of course. You know, anything can happen, but let's see, what would that be? I mean, that's over a 40% drop, even a 60% drop. So unless this drop for the altcoin markets is more rough than I expected, I really don't see that happening. Again, I accept that you could go a little bit lower than this low, but what I'm more thinking is going to happen is that you are going to find support either somewhere around this area or more likely somewhere around this low, not below that low. That's my expectations. Looking at the daily time frames here, the daily indicators, I'm going to zoom this down a little bit because they're just so, you know what, actually, let's just leave the indicators up like that because we've already looked at the price, so it can be small. That's okay. Right, we can shrink it down. Oh, forgive me, I just woke up, man. I just woke up. Daily RSI here. Finding resistance at the 50, not a good look. Getting oversold, rejecting the 50, not a good look. Even when you were getting overbought and you rejected the 50, it wasn't a good look. Let alone when you're getting oversold and rejecting it. So, not good. Stochastics crossing down after not getting overbought, that's also a sign of weakness. And then, of course, you are building bullish momentum here while dropping. That's not ever encouraging either, right? It's encouraging if you're building bearish momentum and you're moving up. That's encouraging because it's like moving up is bearish. What happens whenever we flip to bullish momentum? We're going to skyrocket, you know what I mean? But this is the opposite impact. If we're building bullishly on the MACD here and all we're doing is moving down, that should not encourage you, right? If we do flip red, that could promote some kind of big drop to come, right? I would expect the stochastics to go down to their oversold area. I would expect the daily RSI to go there, and that kind of move would likely bring us back down to these lows here. I think that it would. Do we go deep into the oversold area? Do we bounce off of it for the stochastics or the RSI? You know, either way, it wouldn't surprise me if the MACD gets red, but at some point soon, guys, I think that we are going to transition here, right? The oscillators are pointed upwards, and we are kind of just below the zero. What we're looking for, even if we flip back red, you know, we're looking for a steady path. It can be green, red, green, whatever. We're looking for a steady path that'll take us right back above this zero line here. That's when it's time to get excited, right? That's really when it's time to get excited. When these oscillators get above the zero, whenever the RSI bounces off its oversold zone, whenever you get above, I would say about 0.00045, what would that price be actually? 304, let's say 3046. Whenever you get above that number, I would say that's whenever it's time to get excited, okay? Looking at the weekly time frames, it might not help us on the weekly time frames actually. Yeah. Let's look at the 4 hour. We'll get rid of these stochastics. We'll get rid of them. Let's just see here. My goodness, man, what's wrong with me? I know what's wrong with me. It's called sleep deprivation. Let's see. 4 hour time frame, because these don't help us on the 4 hour time frame, but the RSI still does. At least most of the time it does. Looks pretty good to me. Good in the sense that we're going to go down. Good in the sense that it's agreeing with what I've been saying, right? You're rejecting the 50. Below the 40, pointed downwards. You haven't been oversold on the 4 hour RSI since you got overbought here, so it's been some time. Whenever you got oversold here, you got overbought, and it had been some time since you got oversold. Just notice what you do, okay? Notice what you do. This is important, okay? You got oversold right here. Was that the end of it? Nope. No. It was far from the end of it. So the possibility that we could go below this low again. I'm not expecting that we go if at all. I'm not expecting that we would go too much below this low, but it's possible, right? What you're looking for is if and when you get into this oversold area, you want to stay in it for a minimal amount of time and then get back above the 50 and start getting overbought again. That's what you want to kind of reside up in these upper areas of the RSI. You want to see the opposite of what you saw back here, right? Essentially. And to do that, you're going to have to build in price, right? To do that, you're going to have to break out of this downtrend that you're in, that you've been in for months now. So a little bit lower is definitely on the table. And then again, I don't expect that we're going to go too much lower. I don't expect that we'd go to the 786, 886 area, but you should accept it as a possibility. That's 3021, 30155. I don't expect that, but I accept it as a possibility. Both of those areas are very key kind of areas of support. Man, I'm sorry. Oh, that's bad, man. That's what I get. That's what I get. But at any point here between now and this low, I really am expecting that we find support and we continue to move up. Whenever it does come time to move up, the expectations would be that we bounce somewhere, probably something like this. Move up to the 382, perhaps you find resistance, and then you find support back at a prior area of resistance here. I wouldn't be surprised if this exact thing happens, and you move on up to the 236. I would expect you probably find resistance at this daily high close over here, and you'll probably consolidate right above the 236, or maybe you'll just be on a straight moon mission. This is Toshi. It does know only one speed when it comes to moving up, okay? But this kind of behavior, especially when working your way out of a long kind of drawn out downtrend like this, it's pretty normal. So you might consolidate around here, and then from there, then you'll rip something like that. Probably late April's whenever we're really going to break out of this high area. Hold on, guys. And that's my expectation, right? Anybody who's like, but you said it was late March, but you said it was late February. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's expecting by the end of the month, back in January, by the end of the month of February, that we'd be moving up, or March that we'd be moving up. I don't think anybody in crypto, maybe the smart people back there, but not me, man. I wasn't one of the smart people. Most people did not expect that we'd be moving down for this long, this prolonged of a period, right? I'm not the only one. So. And I'm sure you also are the same way. Whoever you are making those kind of remarks, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It just matters if you're in the game. If you get out of the game, you're screwed. And at the end of the day, whenever it does come time for this move to happen, it's going to be a 4 to 8 week process, a 6 to 8 week process, maybe a 4 to 6 week process as well, right? If we look at how fast Toshi moved up last time on a daily perspective here, this was about 2 weeks time, right? From that low to that high, that was literally 2 weeks time that it took for this move to happen. So whenever I tell you this thing can move fast, by the end of April, it can be at new all-time highs. I mean that. But that just depends if it gets moving soon, right? If it doesn't get moving, if it keeps doing this for another month, then it'll be by the end of May, then it'll be by the end of June. And we'll keep pushing it back. Or we might just have to accept that we're in a bear market if it's the end of May and we're still moving down, you guys. We might just have to accept it at that point. There's not really any arguing there. I can't imagine if we continue to move down without life for the next 2 months. I can't imagine that would look too good for a bull market perspective in crypto. But I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. I've said everything that I need to say. We can go over all-time high expectations for Toshi real quick because I know some people appreciate that. So let's do that. It's always fun, especially when we're in the depths. It's fun to like soothe our egos and be like, tell me how much money I will have if I hold. Just tell me I'm a good boy. Tell me I'm a good girl for holding. I just want to know. $150 million market cap now. For all the good boys and all the good girls out there that are holding on to Toshi and not making fools out of themselves by getting caught in their emotions, I would assume, and I am assuming here, that this is the low. So if that is the low, I would assume that a 100x is possible. What would 100x look like here? That puts you at about 3.7 cents. 3.7 cents is all the way up here at this 2272. And that's a very possible target. 100x would give you a $15 billion market cap, and that's not just given to any crypto, but I could definitely see this meme coin hitting that. Right? It's a meme coin. It can't hit 15 billion in its first market cycle. Are you crazy, C-Zar? Well, I mean, Shiba Inu did. Shiba Inu saw $80 billion, right? It saw an $80 billion market cap last cycle. And all it was the Dogecoin killer, right? I'm not saying this thing will live above $15 billion its whole life. I'm not saying that it will continue to grow and see hundreds of billions of dollars. I'm just saying 15 billion, guys, it's not unattainable. It's a very possible outcome. And that's 100x there. Let alone 80 billion like Shiba Inu. This thing is multi-100xable even at these prices. Let alone if it does go lower. But the 2272, I like that as a given target. Hold on. I like that as a given target. It's because I ate peanuts, you guys. Peanuts, they do choke you out. They really do. The 1886 is possible. Maybe we only stop at 1.5 cents. Oh no, you get like a 40x instead of 100x. Oh well. From these prices, let alone if it goes lower, and it probably does go lower. It's possible we could go all the way up to 7.4 cents. It's even possible that we could go to 10 cents or beyond, right? So it's not appropriate to completely accurately guess or gauge where we're going to go, but if I had to, I'd say 1.5 cents to maybe even, I don't know if we'd hit 20 cents. 1.5 to 13 cents. Accepted possibilities. As we get above 3.5 cents, it becomes less and less likely to me that we will continue moving higher. It wouldn't surprise me if we got above 3.5 cents. It's very common with your 2272 to go a little bit above that. But hitting that 2618 and going beyond it, that's going to be quite a task. So don't get too excited for prices at these levels, but prices between like 4 cents and 1.5 cents, I think those are very suitable targets that could happen. Even if they aren't, and Toshi doesn't perform at all what I'm expecting it to perform. Let's see if I can get it at the right low. There we go. Maybe it only goes to the golden ratio. That's still a 24x, and that's about what the average coin is expected to do by the end of the cycle. I just don't think this thing is going to do average, so that's why my 1886 is the minimum target, and that's at about a 40x there. I got nothing else for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Sorry for all the throat clearing, man. I know that that's annoying. I know that that's really fun for everybody to listen to, but it's worse in the mornings for whatever reason. All right, bye-bye.